Hey everybody, this is GasKills. Welcome to the channel. This is my new gaming mouse. This is a under 40 gram gaming mouse. I say that because it's actually supposed to be 38 grams, plus or minus 2 grams. Mine specifically is just above 40 grams, but it's marketed as 38 grams. I guess there's a little variation there depending on the material and things of that nature that they're using. There's always a little variation, especially with low production run mice, but it's pretty close within 2 grams, which is nice. So this is a 38 gram, 8,000 hertz gaming mouse. That's also built out of carbon fiber composite. This is specifically the Arbiter Studio Akitsu Small. I say small because now they have another version that just became available on their website, a medium. And I'm not sponsored by Arbiter Studio or Akitsu in any way. I was given this as a gift, and overall initial impressions of this mouse are I love it. I have two other ultralight gaming mice here. They're both Starlights from FinalMouse, and this is definitely a very worthy competitor of these two. I have not tried the FinalMouse ULX yet, but I can only assume that this is very close in performance to them because the weights are very similar as well, and their software is it's up there as well with the FinalMouse new software, which is very nice, and I'll get to that shortly. So let me show you what first you get in the box of this. You get your mouse. Give you a quick little preview of this. You get your mouse. You get a dongle along with a paracord, USB-C, of course. All new mice should have USB-C. If they're still running mini USB, that's kind of outdated technology at this point. But yeah, here's the box. It's pretty nice. Got some carbon fiber stuff there, I guess, to match the carbon fiber theme underneath. You can see that. Nice little print on the bottom. But let's look inside the box and just show you what it looks like to unbox. That's where your mouse would sit. Obviously, you have a little instruction manual here. Some specs, what the buttons do, and things of that nature. A little dragonfly there. I guess that's their little spirit bug or whatever you want to call it. And you will also get some extra stuff in here. You will get a pair of side grips. Actually, yeah, a pair of side grips with some mouse buttons grips, which essentially go on the sides and on the buttons in case you have issues gripping this. Now, for me personally, I haven't had any issues with this mouse. I have had some issues with my other FinalMouse here. There's a little bit more slick, less texture on there. If you can see, there's really no texture on there versus the Arbiter Studio Akitsu. There's a little texture there, which is nice. But let's take this out. There's also some feet as well that came with this, which is nice. But yeah, you have these little things. They'll help you out if you have issues with these type of mice. And you also have some new feet on here. And I believe these are the same style. Let's see here. No, they look like a different style of feet as well. So I'll have to do some research and see what the difference is between these two. Maybe there's a different friction on them. They look like a different color, though. That's why I say they're most likely different. But it's nice. It comes with some replacement feet. The factory feet on here are great. I don't even think about replacing these. Whereas my other mouse, I put a pair of E-Tiger Sport V2s on here. These are really good. But these, I don't feel the need to replace them. They're very good mouse feet. But moving on from this whole thing, unboxing you saw, let's get on to the build quality materials and things of that nature. Overall, the mouse is very good. There's really not much side flex on it at all. The paracord looks like a high quality paracord, and like I said, there's also extra feet and whatnot included with it. But the overall build quality of this is very good. I don't really have any faults with this at all. The button clicks and travel are very good. They don't flex side to side very much at all, which is awesome. So you don't get deflection if you press these a little harder than you should. The scroll wheel button clicks great, and each notch up and down on the scroll wheel is very deliberate. I haven't had an issue with me accidentally bumping this and swapping weapons or using that keybind anywhere. Side buttons are good as well. Good placement. Overall, for I'd say large hands, the small fits well. It's definitely bigger than a small FinalMouse by a little bit. It sits between a small FinalMouse and a medium as far as sizing goes. The medium's a little bigger. This is a little better to go with if you have bigger hands, obviously. But they do have the medium Arbiter available for purchase. And the nice thing about this mouse is you don't have to wait for a drop. And you get, I'd say, very close to the performance of a FinalMouse with this mouse, but you're not waiting for a drop. And the only drawback between the two, I know I'm comparing the two, but this is what I have to compare ultralight mice with, is you get a 1-year warranty with this, whereas the FinalMouse are now offering 2-year warranty, and their support is good. I had to deal with support for the FinalMouse a little bit. I haven't had to deal with support yet on the Akitsu, because the build quality seems to be good on my mouse particularly. I say that on my mouse particularly because I feel like I've researched that some of the earlier models did have some build quality issues, but I've had no issues with this at all yet, which is great. So as far as the shape and comfort of this goes, it's very much a FinalMouse clone. Slightly different dimensions as far as like proportions and whatnot, but it's pretty much the same. If you have one, you'll feel very familiar with it. The shape's good. It's just a really good universal shape as of now, and I can't fault it. I've got no complaints about the shape of this mouse. I think it's just the right size, whether you do claw grip or you just leave your whole palm rested on it. Of course, if you have larger hands than I do, you'll want to step up a size in this to be more comfortable, of course. Unless you fingertip grip it, then you might be able to get away with this. But overall, I do really like this mouse. This is my main mouse now, and I don't really have any want to upgrade. I feel like this mouse is still very good, and like I said, it's got an 8K polling rate, which is really nice. Really nice, but really you shouldn't really be using 8K polling rate unless you're really trying to be super competitive. The main reason I say that is because the battery life becomes an issue with these mice. Once you go above 1000 hertz. So on average, 1000 hertz will net you 60 hours of game time with one of these mice. But if you go up to the max, which is 8000 hertz, you're going to see about 12. It drains the battery very fast for very minimal return. So unless you're really like playing for money or something, I don't really feel like you need to go above 1000. But again, it's your mouse. You do what you want with it. That's just my thoughts. So some issues with this mice so far, like I was saying, are some people are unhappy with the clicks of this mice and or the coating on it, saying it slips too much. But again, they gave you some devices in here to keep that from being an issue, which is great on them to include that with it and not have an upsell on it. The center click button, some people are saying it's a little hard to press, but I like that. I don't want to press this button by accident because it's not a button that I use regularly unless it's like let's say like maybe melee, but even melee is usually a side button for me. This might be like a ping or something along that lines in game. The dongle is very nice. The dongle actually will show you a bunch of details on the mouse, as you can see. See if we can get that in focus for you. So as you go underneath and update your DPI, it'll tell you what the DPI is, so you don't have to guess. And it'll tell you your hertz right there. So essentially what the hertz are is every update, updates every second. So right now we're at 8000 pings from the mouse to here into the computer, essentially a second. Now we're at 500 and 1000, which, like I said, I think is the sweet spot. Motion sync and all this stuff is other options available in their online software, which I'll show you in a second here after I get through with the rest of the review. Now the question is, should you really buy this mouse? Depends. If you're in the market for a lightweight mouse, I believe this thing to be very good. I really do like this thing so far. I've had no issues over the past 90 days of use. It's a great mouse, in my opinion. Yeah, so let's get over to their actual website for their mice. Let's see if we can find it through this app. And there it is. So we go in there, it shows you it's connected, the battery percentage. Go in there and click on it. And you can set up all kinds of different profiles on here, different polling rates, debounce times. I have mine set off completely because I haven't had any debounce at all, so there's no point in having it on at that point. Debounce essentially is like a double click when you didn't want to double click. And you have different DPI stages as well. You can set different colors for each one. So when you go and change it, it changes the color on the actual mouse when the certain DPI is selected. And all these clicks are customizable for the mouse. Everything, you can do whatever you wish here, add macros, change left click to right click, whatever whatever you can think you can do. And then here's your macros. I don't use macros myself. I've never built any. But this might be good for some repetitive movements in PvE games or PvP games. Anything that you can think of. Keep in mind, macros are sometimes frowned upon. But again, it's your mouse. You do what you want with it. So overall, I'm going to give this mouse a 9 out of 10. I love this thing. I think this is a very good choice if you're looking for a new mouse that's not sitting around $200. It's very light. It's very snappy. And I don't have any complaints with this thing at all. I had no technical issues with it at all. Their software is very good. And the hardware seems like it's very solid. And like it's not cheap, flimsy, too flexible, or anything along those lines. Mouse feet are very nice. They provide the perfect amount of grip for me, which I did. I've had glass pads in it like before, and I just didn't like it because I need a certain amount of grip to be able to stop when I'm going to aim at somebody. Otherwise, you end up having a bunch of micro adjustments that you're not really looking for. Side clicks are great on this thing. Everything, I really do like this mouse. Now, again, I'm not sponsored by them at all. I just want to do a gaming mouse review. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you guys have this mouse or have had it and have issues, just let me know in the comment section. I'd like to see what everybody's expecting, or not expecting, but what everybody's feeling about this product, as well as somebody's going out there to shop for this. Look in the comments and see what people are saying as far as previous ownership and current experiences and things of that nature. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Now I'm going to ask you guys just hit that subscribe button, and also, like I said, throw a comment in down there. And thank you for watching.